Okay guys, so I got the haul in earlier from HSN and I thought that I would use the pop out dies that I just picked up from Crafter's Companion. And so any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. And I realized whenever I do videos like this, I don't decorate the front because I'm like, we're focusing on this middle part. And I was looking at these that have Just For You with Love and Happy Birthday. So then I looked at the interchangeable trio, decorative interchangeable trio, whatever they call these sets. These are both auto ships. I don't know if they're still available for auto ship right now, but we'll see. But I will have the links there for you guys. I was like, oh, maybe Happy Thoughts or, Just For You or something instead of Happy Birthday and Happy Birthday again, but which is cute actually. But then I was looking at Sending Hugs, so I thought maybe Sending Hugs Just For You. Oh, wouldn't that be cute? Birthday Wishes Just For You. I mean, this Just For You one I think is really good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is probably use this one, maybe do the Sending Hugs and just put that on the outside and then we'll pop this on the inside. So these are pretty basic. I mean, a lot of times they'll tell you here, let me see, let me open this up. What size paper you need for this to work at least minimally, and then you can go from there. But yeah, there's a little info in here. For a 4x6 card base, which is that funky little shape people like to do right now. I guess you can call it a mini slimline, but it's thicker than a slimline. It's basically an A4. Yes? Just like our A2 when we cut it in half, it's an A4 cut in half. So the numbers aren't quite 4x6 on those, but it works. So trim a piece of card measuring 8x6 and then score it at 4 inches, of course. Draw a pencil line across the piece of card to show where the center fold will be. Huh? Why isn't it just, what? Draw a pencil line across the piece of card. Use a scoring tool and scoring mat to mark where the center fold. Well, if it's already, don't score and crease the fold at this point. That's interesting. Why don't you just, okay, whatever. I know why they're saying not to score it though, because you don't want this to be buckled in any way, and then when you pop it out, it's gonna have like a little buckle where it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna want to bend where it shouldn't. But then why are we doing this? Basically, you just want to draw a pencil line. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Place the metal die on the card. Pencil line needs to be in the center of the notches, of course. And then go ahead and die cut it. And then you can just, then finally score those little notches on the end. Pretty easy. The way they're showing it here, and they always do, is just like a couple layers of this, so they did it and then did it again, but then they trimmed away the excess on this one so that it fits, this pink paper fits in there perfectly. Same thing down here. And then, adding in colors, whatever you want to do. So let's grab some paper and we'll get started. Cleared out some of this area. Okay, let's keep this out. And let's not stick that down. Of course, by the end of this, I'll have that paper stuck to the carrier sheet because that's the kind of thing I do. So basically, these carrier sheets have this double-sided tape on there, and then I rip it, I take it off, and later I'll put this down, and it'll land on here, and it'll be stuck, and that'll be fun. Oh, in the back, there's still some more info. I was like, that was pretty quick. Okay. Okay. It says don't score it. I'm just not sure why they even said to bring it out here, but that's okay. So we have our 8x6. It feels weird because I'm not used to working this size. 4 inches. Now you can say, okay, I can notch it or do something, or by the time you get down to here, you're not gonna. Well, actually, I know where it is. It's 2 over from the mark. That mark that I have there is on 4 1/4 because I make standard A2 size cards all the time. So always just like boom, that's my 4 1/4. I don't have to pay attention. I did find a ruler, you guys. I know, like I said, my husband misplaced my other ruler. The reason I don't like this rule and I had it hidden away is because it goes to a magnetic mat that I have, and that's great. I still have the magnetic mat. But it's really sharp on the edges. Oh my gosh. All I had to do was round the edges and we would have been great. We are memory keepers. It is so sharp, and I was always scratching or cutting myself. So I hid it away. But anyway, so I'm going to take that. I'm just going to use a ruler just to help me line up that 4 inch. It's not, super... like it has to be done this way, but I'm just doing it this way. And I don't have a pencil. Is it a pencil? Is it pink? Ugh, it is pink. Where did I get this from? All right, well, hopefully it erases. I'm just going to make a little mark, very light here and here. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. So that was step 2, draw a pencil line across the piece of card. I'm not doing it all the way across. I'm just putting it here as much as I think I need. I'm not gonna, but you can always do the whole thing and then erase it. I know it's very faint, but that's the point. Place the metal die on the card. The pencil line needs to be, ooh, sorry guys, in the center. Okay, I'm gonna put this somewhere I don't get things stuck to it. All right, over there. I'm still gonna put another piece of paper over there, watch. Place the metal die on the card. The pencil line needs to be in the center of the notches on the die as shown. So obviously these little notches here are going to line up with that. I don't think at this point it matters if you have it up or down because this is exactly the same. You know, if I had it this way, it doesn't matter. Go this way. Okay, yeah, pretty easy. And this part you're eyeballing, and so basically I'm lining up, hopefully I'll show in this top part, that little pink line, lining it up right in between those little kissy notches right there. And then we're gonna tape that and run it through. I would put the tape not so much, because, you know, I don't want to rip my paper. I'm probably gonna cover this paper anyway with just the way they show, like the little matting, but what I'm trying to say, I wouldn't put on the sides because these little edges are going to be very small pieces of strips of paper after you cut. So don't put them over here. I would recommend putting it somewhere a little more weight behind it, like here and here. Just because I know a lot of times, like I always say, like try to put your tape where it's not touching as much as the paper. But if you did put it here, it's going to be a problem because these little pieces are so thin and flimsy by the time you're done. All right, I'm going to run this through the Gemini. You can run it through your Impress, whatever it is. Let me tell you how wide this is. This is too wide for a small machine like the Marquee or something like that. The die itself is, oops, like 5 3/4. And then of course our paper is 6 inches wide, so. And I said I would clean my plates, that I was gonna do some different things. I did not, and I have not, and I will at some point. They're getting pretty bad. So I'll probably switch out to a new set of plates that I've had. I think I have a couple sets of plates. But I just like to use the same ones. So these are the same ones I've been using since I got the machine a couple years ago now, right? Let's see. And somebody had asked for me to show kind of the sandwiches, so that's what I'll show. I'm not gonna record while it runs through. It's so loud, you guys. Okay, so again, I always keep my magnetic sheet away from my magnetic shim, should I call it, away from the die. I know usually you put that right on the die. It doesn't really hold it, doesn't really help it, and I've torn up another one with that because this die will gouge into it, even the backside of it, you know what I'm saying? So I always just keep it away. You're really just using it for thickness anyway. So, you know, plastic shim, maybe the metal shim, and then my magnetic shim. The metal shim is in there. And that is keeping it away from the actual die. And it's just there for the shim purposes of it. And I will run this through my Gemini Junior, and hopefully you can see what this looks like right now. Look at that. It'll take it. All right, I'll be back. Of course, today she's not rattling as much. Watch, it's after it comes out. Listen to this. When I was doing the Spellbinders video for the foil press, I just had it on and it was so loud. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right, let's take this away. Take this away. And let's be careful peeling our tape away. Look at that. And the little heart that pops out, you can use for something else, of course. That's cute. Pretty great. Okay. I should probably erase. Oh my gosh, I just bought a whole thing of erasers. Now I don't know where they are. What is this? Does this one work? I'm gonna go ahead and take a moment to erase those marks. And so if you had drawn that line all across, you would be erasing all of that. So that's kind of why I just did the very end notches. And I'm not going to take any more of the time than that to do that. And then now we're going to go ahead, attach the die to the card. Okay, we did that using scoring tool. And then mark the center again. Simply score the surrounding areas on the card base as shown. Score and burnish all the fold lines and top and bottom edges. Okay, this is the part that's going to be a little tricky, but so I'm gonna take this, and basically what we're doing here is going ahead and marking the 4 inches, but you're only doing it like here, right? And then again, I know it's the 2 lines away from here, and I can still kind of see my faint lines. So you're just marking that, the very base of the card. This just here and here. And hopefully you can see how well it made the score lines here. So this should be easy, but you know, famous last words. Okay. So I don't know where I want to start. Okay, if this is going back, see how it already wants to do its thing? I'm kind of pushing back there. And maybe I should keep my hand in the back. There we go. There we go. And then this one here. Oh, I don't want to bend it too much. I'm being too scared of it, aren't I? Oh my gosh. Okay, I want this to come forward. Okay, maybe that's good. And then these pieces to come forward. Maybe here. I'm just trying to figure out where the best places are to bend the next bends. And then this is going to bend backwards. Right? Hey. Okay, let's back. Back. You just kind of have to go for it, guys. This is crazy. Hold on. And back right there. Okay. So we got the gist part, I think. I think we got this part. So what happens is this also needs to come up forward. You see this whole bottom section, we already got this. We'll obviously iron it out in just a minute, but ooh, look at this. Look at this. I'm just giving it a push and it's already kind of doing its thing. It's not quite where it wants to be, but this one is. The O is good. The R is good. This one, you know why? It's probably because it's a little bit thicker line here. So I have to be more careful with that one. Come on, guys. There we go. All right. So the ones that have the smaller connections are very easy to just go ahead and do their scoring. The ones that have like a wider piece are taking a little bit more care. Okay, so now what I'm doing is at the base of them, popping that up. You can always use a tool. You don't have to stick your finger in there. You know, just trying to get that. All right. Oh, look at that. Okay. So my J on my just, I don't really like where it got bent. Let me try to bend it a little bit differently. A little nicer. Just. So I was paying attention to the top, but you also kind of have to score the bottom, the base of the word, of the letter, should I say. Now, I'm going to give it an actual bend. This is scary. I'm kind of watching the top and making sure that those are, do you see what I'm saying? Up here. And making sure that that looks nice and straight. And we can do that only so much. So on this next level, I'm looking into the card. Just trying to make sure that that's okay and that's okay and this is okay. That looks all good. As I'm closing it, I'm keeping an eye in there. Woo! I'm doing this very, very gently, you guys. I don't want to, see I'm pulling this down this way. I don't want to bother anything. I can also just do this. See, I'm using my hands to kind of press it. Then you can open it and see if anything got squished wrong. If it got squished wrong, then you want to make an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Like if it got squished down here, just make sure you're popping it up. And now I'm going to fold it again, and now I don't mind giving it a really good... And that is the trickiest part. That's it. Same with the last one. The last one, obviously, the last set that was pop up or pop out, they had the one layer, but you still, you know, had to take care when you're popping it out. That is so cool. Look at that. Yes, a little scary. We had to do a little something here and there, but not bad. Okay. So again, like I said, you can matte in here. So what you do if you want a different color, you run it through again. And then this time you can pop out the letters, like cut them out using a craft knife, which isn't hard because they're only attached by some of them, by little pieces. And you can change the lettering. You can also run this through again and use the negative part to go around here. You can put some paper in the back of your card. So we're going to do all of that, but let me go grab some paper. I just grabbed my base and went from there. I'll be right back. Okay, so this might be weird what I'm thinking here because this is... Okay, this is the card base basically, but not really because you just cut into it. So you need another card base. I kind of want this to matte into it. I don't know if there's a, yeah, so like this. So really for 4x6, this is this is already 4x6. So to matte on the outside of this, you can't really get rid of too much of this side stuff. So I'm gonna make the card base bigger than this. So I'm gonna cut down 4.5 by 8.5, I guess. And you guys already know I do not like adding things like this into a card base because it's never going to be right. But since you're really only gluing these little areas, I think it'll be okay. I'll talk about that in just a minute. So I'm going to use this paper. It's not the thickest paper in the world. It's actually kind of thin. I was looking for a double-sided paper. I don't see one. So, oh well. That's like thicker. I'm sure I have somewhere, but you know, I have things to do. So let's trim this down. Again, I'm going to do... so that it ends, what did I say, 6.5 by 8.5, and I'll be right back. I don't know why I grabbed sea-themed stuff when, you know, the die for the top isn't quite, but it just has like little floral look, so that's okay. This does have a different pattern to it, so I wanted it to be 6.5 this way. I'm sorry, 8.5 this way, and then in the other direction. What am I even saying right now? Yes. Oh gosh, you guys. It's because I keep getting like standard slimline in my head. Anyway, so it's 6.5 by 8.5, and we need to score it at 4 1/4 because that's half of the 8.5. And then for the other piece that I'm going to put on the inside and just kind of use it to decorate a little bit, it's like a very muted shell paper. Maybe I should have gone with something more bright, but so basically this is going to nestle in here. Actually, I would do it this way because I want that pink. A really nice coral in the front. I feel like I cut this one too wide. No, it's 8.5. Weird. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to put that in there. See? So that'll be really nice. And then this other one, I just cut it 6 by 8, just like the regular, just like this one here. What I'm going to do is do the same little measurements and do all that and run it through, and then I'm going to take these pieces and put them behind this and on here. So same thing as it is for this card base, I'm going to do for this, and I'll be right back. Guys, my kids are eating and doing their thing for the morning, so I just want to show you real quickly for this one. I'm not even going to measure it. You know, we measured earlier, we marked and all that. I'm just going to get my little 2 things, and I'm going to see the 4-inch mark, which is 2 over from the mark that I have there, and I'm just going to eyeball it, to be honest. I think that'll be good enough for this one because, you know, it has to be there, but not super accurate. I'm just using this for the matting of it, so it's not the biggest deal. Right there looks pretty good. That looks really good right there. So I think I'll just tape that and tape this, and I'll run it through. I'll be right back. Okay, once you have this piece, what you're going to have to do is decide what do you want to do. So, you know, we're still gonna put this back on our board and see where we need to cut it or however, but do you want to just use this portion of it? Like if you cut this here and cut this here, you know, you're just gonna use the piece that clips in on the top. Let me show you on the card, like this. So see how they used to use the pink, and all they did was trim that away, you know, everything else, and then just left it back there. Do you want this just for the part that goes in here, that tucks in? Do you want to use it for all of that? You know, either way, we're going to get rid of the letters. So I'm going to do this part with scissors, but I would recommend using an X-Acto knife or a craft knife, but I would just go like this. So we're going to get rid of the letters. If you wanted to use the letters, then that's a different story. You would just clip for the letters and you would get your little letters and stick them on, right? Because that's what you want. But right now, I'm going to get rid of these letters, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Hopefully. Let me get this one off. Actually, I need to do one other thing before we completely do that, is go ahead and go in here and do the 4-inch thing, right? So 4 inches right here. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to clip that. So you can remove the pencil marks in just a minute. But we're marking that 4 inches and 4 inches. So hopefully you can see this is loosening up already. And I haven't decided what I want to do. Do I want to use this whole piece that would then nestle in here? You know what I'm saying? You can kind of have a vision of what I'm talking about as you play with this. Do you want that to cover the whole thing? Or do you mind that this just comes out in that beige and then your letters are beige? How do you want to work it, you know? I have not decided, but the other thing I'm looking at, this stays as long, and then we're going to cut this right here. Now, again, I don't have to cut that if I want to. Let me fold this just so you have an idea. So this is where you're going to make your decisions. So I'm just showing you something. Hopefully it clicks to what I'm trying to say here. How much of this part do you want is what I'm trying to say. These letters, let's move them out of the way and see if I can just bend them back and be enough. So do you want that matted in? I kind of like that, that look, you know, keeping all this piece, but maybe you don't. So, you know, you do whatever you want. I kind of do like that though. Let me see how I can get this to work. I'm trying to show you guys without doing much right now. Here, it's getting stuck there. Okay, so you see this little piece is also stuck to this. Again, that gives it that crease where it's not going to be perfect, you know. So just think about how you want to mat up this pieces. I kind of do want to keep that. I don't know that I'm going to keep it as one piece though, but if I do, I'm going to get rid of all these little letters. I'm just going to show you, this is probably the most difficult one, what I'm showing you, if this is what you want to do. I'm going to get rid of the top, and I'm going to also get rid of the top of the heart. So if you wanted to leave this piece would then continue on down into the heart area, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Again, if you want it to be super accurate, hold on. Ooh, yeah, see? It needs to be right here at the score lines. And again, get rid of this, and this, and the last one on the F. It does not have to be this complicated. I'm just showing you probably the more difficult way to mat this. Oh, let's get rid of all these pieces that I bent back. So I'm going to cut this. I am so sorry. I hope this is not confusing. That's not what my intention was. I'm just trying to show you how you would think about matting this. Again, I'm using the more complicated method of matting it because I want it to go through the whole card, but you don't have to do that. So hopefully you can see what we have left. No letters, and just those little side pieces, because that's going to go right into here. Look at that. So cool. I love that. Again, it does add a little extra of, if you glue this on, it's going to be harder to fold and do all those things. So it is probably easier just to cut it off. And then maybe I'll cut it and then replace the items. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and cut it off and then just place them. So that way they're on their own. They're not... See how it moves? And if you glue it, it's not going to stay really well for you guys, even if you glue it. So I think I might do that. I might take a moment to just cut it off and still have it there for the mat. And then this bottom piece, again, I'm going to cut off all the bottom of the letters. All of this stuff is going to cut away. Cut away, cut away, cut away. I guess if you wanted to keep the heart, you could keep the heart and have it bend up into that area. And now the whole thing is matted, right? You see that? But, you know, it's whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to make my last surgical decisions here, and I'll be right back. So I have all my pieces. Again, I am showing you the most complicated. You don't even have to mat this. You can just pop it into your card, and it looks just great. But basically, I'm going to just glue all these things down. Look at that. And I just trim that off again so that they work independently of each other. When they're still hinged together, the pieces of paper, they just aren't going to close the same way. Just like when you open up a pop-up card, a lot of times it's just not going to do its thing. What's nice about this is that I was a little bit off, not in the left and right, but up and down. Hopefully you can kind of see that this one's touching, but this one has a lot extra over here. So what I'm going to do is just trim that away. I probably cut it in the wrong spot is all that happened. So I'll fix that part like this. It's supposed to, this little notch was supposed to be over here. So... sorry about that. I don't know why the other side was okay. Kind of interesting. Anyway, so I'm just going to take glue and glue everything down. You know, I like my wet glue, so you could definitely just lay your card back out. It doesn't have to sit up the way I have it. Just lay it back out and add everything back in. So let me remove this piece and that little guy that I made an oopsie on. I meant to cut that on the score line, and I don't know where I cut it. Not the score line. All right. So hopefully this isn't intimidating for you guys. I know a lot of people will say, okay, you already lost me. Like, this is too many steps. You do not have to do all these steps that I'm doing. I'm just showing you the more complicated way of doing this. Okay, so I'll just come in and glue everything in. I think I gotta go because it sounds like it's 8 o'clock. I have the news on and I can hear they're trying to switch off. That means I have to take Miranda to school. But when I come back, see how now those two pieces are independent of each other? And so when you go to close it and use it, it's not gonna move, okay? It's fine because it has a space there to not be stuck together. A little room to breathe, as it were. Okay, and then I'll glue this in here and glue this down here. I'll be back. So I'm back from dropping the girl off, so now I have plenty of time. Just another tip I wanted to tell you, and I didn't come back because I was just laying these things down. If you want to, when you go to cut these pieces off, trim just a little extra off of one of them. It's easier to trim off of this piece that you have in your hand, just a little bit extra off the back, just so that when you do tuck it in, it just tucks in easier. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So like this one, I already cut the other piece because of how to just take a little bit off. Just so that when you tuck it in, you can leave that gap so that it can fold nicely and quickly. And you know, here there's going to be a little issue, but it's not going to be the biggest deal. So just to give you that tip, because what's going to happen is we're going to refold it and make sure everything is okay. So let me put this back on here, or put this on here. There goes that. There goes this piece. So cute. I do love the way it looks though when you're done. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because look at that. So now just the letters and that little heart are the second color. Again, you can do this whole background like we did and then do the letters to be the secondary color, right? So you aren't going to deal with any of this other stuff. I just like the way this looks. So that's just me. Okay. So now we're going to fold it again. And when you go to fold it, you might get some resistance, but since I trimmed a little bit extra off, like on this one, I kind of didn't do that. You're going to get a little bit of resistance because it's just in that same area that needs to share that space, you know, that little tiny crevice that you create. So when you go to do this, just really bend it. And you can even, before you bend it, give it a pinch in those areas just so that to get it ready. So your letters don't end up getting bent. And then just lay it down again. Get it all feeling good here. Let's do this. Okay. So most of my time was going to be spent on the inside of the card, and I already knew that. So here we are. And then this is the card base that we had cut. Again, it's going to make a 4 1/4 by basically 6 1/4 card. Okay, because I put an outer piece for it. Now when we go to glue this in, it is definitely not going to let us open it all the way up for the same reasons that I tell you whenever you have these crevices that join. It just doesn't. Do you want to leave it white in the back? Because you know, I have the single paper. We could also pop in some paper back there. So I was possibly thinking about using this same paper. Oh yeah, that looks so pretty. See, I mean, it just pops when you add a little something more. So I think I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, let me think how I want to do it. I do like that darker color at the top. So I need this to be at least 6 inches wide. Maybe I'll do 5 and something, 3/4-ish. It's gonna have to be at the bottom, just so it looks nice. Okay, 5 3/4, just so it doesn't get in the way of some of this other stuff. By 3 1/2 down here, 5 3/4 by 3 1/2 up here. What I mean by that is I'm gonna take this paper, let me cut it. I don't know if I have enough of this for 3 1/2, but that's fine. So 5 3/4 wide. If your paper has direction, make sure you're paying attention to that. And at this bottom piece, like I'm just trying to eyeball how much do I actually need to clear that area. At least 3 inches. How big is this? 6 1/2? Oh, okay. Well then, I'll still do 3 1/2 and then 3 at the top. I hope. Okay, so 3 1/2. And the reason I'm cutting it is, again, so it makes it easy to open and close the card. Or easier. So I'm going to bring my card base back. Not that one, this one. And this is going to go here, and this is going to go up here. And all I'm going to do is glue that down. But you see how now, since we have that cut, it just makes it so that the card opens and closes. If you just had folded it, it just does not work as well. And I harp on that because it's the pet peeve of mine, because the card will not open up. It's like stuck together with the 2 layers, and this one's going to want to open up in the center. It's just a pain. So if you can get a nice little slit in there and no one's the wiser, then that's great. I do like the darkness of this, so it's going to miss that a little bit, but that's okay. And this will also make this kind of wimpy paper I used feel a little more sturdy. So we have that guy. And I'm going to place this guy. This top piece is only 3 inches by the 5 3/4, so I'm not... You just need something to mat behind that area. And you can even close it just to make sure you're not too close to that crevice, and see, so it leaves a little space. It'll be negligible, like to notice that. And I'm pretty much done with the inside of the card, so I am going to glue this down. Again, this is the other danger piece. If you want to give a little slit here and a little slit there, that's probably what you want to do. Just cut that. And I think I'm going to do that, to be honest, because let me see. Like I said, it's only that piece. Ugh. It's just so weird when you do this kind of thing. Well, you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad because it's only those little junctions. If it was a whole folded card like what I want to do here, it would be painful. All right, so I'm gonna put glue here, and I love to use wet glue, so I'm always gonna use a wet glue. I have noticed like sometimes when like Anna Griffin does her demos, she's always using, it seems like tape liner type things, and her cards or sometimes the things she shows pop open or like it just comes apart. I've noticed a lot, so I'm like, it's because I'm telling you, wet glue won't go anywhere unless the person rips it. So again, I put glue all over just towards the edge there. I'm gonna keep an eye on this as I place it. I'm gonna place it down the center, about there. Again, this is Deluxe Adhesive by Tonic, so it will stick really quick. So, and for this top part, I'm not even gonna really stick it down. I'm gonna push this down and let it do its own thing. Wherever it naturally wants to stick, I will be happy with. This is really pretty, actually. I love that. The paper is from the Mermaid Stack or something from Recollections. It's not even Die Cuts with a View. It's just that Michael's paper that they have. I've lost track of time. I don't even know how long this is taking, but it's just because I was talking about it. Well, if I was just working on this here at home, it would have worked up pretty quickly. Look at that, you guys. Oh, I love it. I love the colors. I just like the soft, you know, feel of it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me grab some papers for our sentiment that's going to pop on the top, and I don't even know where I put the thing. Okay. Oh, you know what else? I'm going to get this back on its carrier, even though there's paper stuck in here. That way the carrier is not in danger of sticking to everything else that I have around here. Ay. Okay, I think I'm just going to grab some beige paper, like what I started off with. And it looks like we need at least 3 layers of something, right? I'll be right back. Grab some papers. Let's see how big this is. Oh, it's a good size, you guys. Let's see. It's about 5 inches by 3 1/4. So from here to here is 5 inches, 3 1/4. That will take up a whole A2 size card, no problem. It'll look really nice. So that's cool. Let's see here. I'm going to do the outside in beige. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Oh, okay, it does cut out. I was going to say, I thought it was a cut in, but I can see it cuts itself out. So I'll do this outside in beige. I'll do this center one. Oh, I kind of, well, see, no. I was going to say, I kind of feel like I should do this with the outside, but my outside's already starfishy, so we're not going to do that. We are going to cut it out from this one. Now, there's other things. You can leave this in here the way it's nested, and then the words would be cut out, and you can do other. I'm just going to layer the word on top, but so you can play with this lots of different ways, but you see how they're all the same, so whatever happens here, it's not really changing anything, so that's cool. So that one I'm going to cut from this, and then Sending Hugs out of the corally kind of pink paper. And I'll be right back. So this particular set can definitely go through your marquee and things like that because of the size. Really nice size, you guys. Maybe I should grab like a, I have, oh Lord, here we go. Excuse me. Nope, come on. There we go. So let me grab a standard A2 size card so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but let me put this back. And this pretty lady. Oh. Nope. Super delicate. Getting caught. Look at that. Not sure why the die pushed in here and didn't do that over there. Something must have happened while it was coming through. Look, it's so pretty. And then our sentiment that is also very delicate. I don't know why the way I giggled around reminded me of yesterday. Miranda was in her little online class and it was with the librarian. She was reading them, I think, what's it called? Humpty Dumpty. And she just started cracking up and it made me laugh because she couldn't even speak because she was laughing so much because I could hear her, you know, where I'm sitting in the living room. And I was like, what was so funny? She's like, it was just so funny. And then she started like being again where she couldn't even tell me why she thought it was so funny. So anyway, I just thought it was really cute. Yeah, so what I was going to do is just show you, like, let's say you had a standard A2 size card, and for some reason this card's always in front of me. Look at that. I mean, it takes up a good amount of that space. So that is another set that you can make a pretty quick card. Really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go through, and I am going to put glue on the back of my hand, so let me Why do I always, I just grabbed another bottle of glue when this one's over here that I've been using. I tell you guys, usually by the end of the tutorial, if I use scissors, I've used 3 or 4 different pairs because I'll grab them, I'll put them over here, and then I'll grab another one from where I keep them. It just happens. All right. So glue in the back of the hand. Very old trick. A lot of people, oh, I like your trick. It's not really my trick. I've learned this, I don't even know, decades ago, and it probably was at a scrapbook expo or something. I don't even know, but it just works. Okay, so let's put this on here, and I'm just eyeballing it, kind of looking at the bottom edge first, and then I'll smooth everything else in. Whatever happens, I'm going to go with it because this is Nouveau, and it's not going to give me a lot of movement. It is a very big area, you know what I'm saying? The shadow layer. Most of the time it's pretty close. Look how big that is. I think that's kind of a lot, right? So maybe in that way they got more space. I think I ran out of glue when I was tapping over here. Just get some in there. And I'll do the same thing with this guy. Just tap. And, you know, start gluing down one side and then kind of bring it to the other. So I end up like that. All right, I'll be back. So, and if I haven't lost you already, maybe I'll lose you now. But I'm going to take this set here. A Diamond Press originally had sent for review, but now it's just my set. I'm going to use this, and you know what? You know, maybe we'll do it twice. I'm going to do it with what I want to do it with, and then I'll show you guys again. This is a little trick. It's a little bit tricky, but I want you guys to see. I'm just going to make a bow, and it's going to make like a double bow. But this is twine, so it's not going to be that, you know, dramatic. I'm having the end of my stuff. We're going to use our fingers to make this bow. It's not hard, but you got to pay attention. And when you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, you're making loops. So we start here. It's in front of my 2 fingers. I'm going to go behind my pointer, right? Around my middle finger. And that's like a loop, right? It's a loop and a loop. I'm going to go over my finger again and over my middle finger again. This is a super old way of making a bow. It's just fun. So now we're going to take this and we're going to finish that loop, right? If you really look, it's loop, 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 loop. We're going to take this and stick it behind everything. Tuck it in between your fingers. Tuck it in between your fingers. So it's going over everything. And when we come here, you see this little piece of string going this way? We're going to take this and go in between there, just picking up that little loop. Okay, guys? And this is basically it. Now we can... Oh, I undid that, but that's all right. That's the thing. If you want to move it a little bit, because I can see that these are not equal, that's fine. But that's it. And now you can pull it a little bit tighter if you want. Really, you don't want to pull it tighter. You should do that when it's in your fingers. But there. Basically, this is the one that's going to give you the tension. If you pull this one, it's going to undo. And that's it. That makes like a little bow. It looks prettier when you're using ribbon. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'll do it again. So it's not too tricky, hopefully. Let's use... Let's maybe use the gold stuff. The white looks really pretty. I'm probably going to use this on a different project. I just want to show it to you again. Ooh, let's not tear our beautiful stuff here. Oh, cool. I thought for sure that tape is going to remove some of this gold, and no, it's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time with this. Again, basically using these 2 fingers. I should get my other fingers out of the way. You're going to go around your pointer, over behind your middle finger, again over your pointer, around your middle finger. We're going to cut this away and finish that loop, right? Because we're making loops. And then we're going to take this and shove it behind everything, okay? It's behind, so it's catching everything, basically. And now when we come here, we're going to catch this loop. If you catch it this way, I think might be okay, I don't know, but you're supposed to go under and push it through, just to catch that top loop that's going across there. Of course, it's a little different because it's paper. This is really cool stuff. Okay. And I'm going to be gentle with it again because this is paper and I want that to tighten, but not too crazy. So we're tightening that up, tightening it up. See? Hopefully you can see that I'm just kind of... Oh my gosh, look how pretty. I'm telling you, with the ribbon or with it just makes such a beautiful bow. My goodness. Now, since I did squish this, I would just poof it up or I would cut it off. Either one. Either one will work. Or squish this one so it looks similar, right? You can kind of twist that one up. But look how pretty that is. So obviously it looks very different in this stuff. I just want it, and you can keep doing this. If you want, like with this guy, I would keep going, and then tighten it up, and I would have lots of loops. Oh my gosh, my son came down the stairs and I barely saw a piece of him and it scared me. I just like jumped. Okay, off camera. Here, all right. So I'm gonna put this here. And I just made that little bow just to add a little something. That's basically all I was wanting to do with it. Bummer that I unraveled it a little bit. Maybe I'll unravel the other one. I don't know. Okay, so that's it. That is it. Let me trim this a little bit. I'm just not gonna let that bother me, I suppose. And that's how I'm gonna finish this card off. I was gonna pull out some other cute like shells and things from the Ocean Breeze set that Crafter's Companion had on auto ship. I believe it's available on HSN right now, but that's okay. I think we have plenty of things going on. Hopefully this video didn't go too long. I'm sorry if I gave too many tips or if they were confusing. I was just trying to talk about everything that I would think might trip you up. And I know that can make it seem like, oh no, but no, I mean, literally I'm just giving you some tips. That's all. You don't have to do any of this matting. You can just pop that in there and it'll look great. Look how cute. Okay. So that's my card. Really sweet, really fun, little coastal feeling. I would add like, you know, some little shells and things in here, like die cut ones or whatever it is that you want for this theme, since it is very coastal looking. But look at this. Ah, ooh, fancy, but not quite. All right, so there we are. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description box. Hopefully that gave you some ideas of how to use those or kind of how to look at them. And it's just my, the way I did it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.